Going viral is one of the worst things that can happen in your business. I know how that sounds, okay? Everyone in this space is telling you the exact opposite. Get more followers, blow up, go viral, and then the money will just show up. Well, it doesn't. And I've personally watched creators with over 1 million followers make almost nothing. And I've watched people with a few thousand followers build a business that prints 50, 30, and even 50 grand a month every single month. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why a big audience can quietly kill your sales, why the way most creators position their offer guarantees that they attract people who can't pay them, and the simple math that proves that you don't need more followers, you need the right ones. So here's the thing that nobody tells you about going viral. When you go viral, you don't get more of your buyer. You get more of everyone. You get the scrollers. You get the people who watch for the entertainment. You get flooded with the attention of people who would never, ever pull out their credit card. And look, that feels amazing. The likes go up, the comments go up, the follower count goes up, and your ego starts to get fed every single day. But views are not buyers. A like is not a sale. And a follower who came for your lifestyle content is simply not a follower who came to solve a problem you get paid to solve. So now that you've got this giant audience and you go to sell something, it flops. Well, that's because you have all of these followers. And the reason it flops is actually very simple. You attracted the wrong people. You built an audience and optimized for attention, and then you tried to sell an audience that was never there to buy to begin with. Attention and income are not the same skill, and chasing one will very often cost you the other. Now, here's where it gets worse, because most creators make a second mistake on top of the first one. When you're new, you talk to beginners. You say things like, I help struggling agents, I help first timers, I help people who are just getting started. It makes sense in your head because you feel new, so you talk to people who also feel new. But let's think about who that actually attracts. Beginners, people who are struggling, people who are just starting. You see, those people do not have money. And look, that's not an insult, it's just true. The person who is broke and brand new cannot pay you $5,000 to fix the problem. They don't have $5,000. So now you've done two things. You went viral and pulled in a whole bunch of people who were never even going to buy, and then you wrote your offer for the group of people who literally cannot even afford it. Then you get on sales calls, and every single call is a fight. Every call ends with, I can't afford it. Even when you offer financing, they don't move. And then you start to think you're just bad at sales. Look, you're not bad at sales. You filled your pipeline with people who just can't pay you. The words that you use to describe who you help decides who shows up. If your words call in the broke is who you're going to get. Let me tell you about a creator that I have worked with. I'll keep it simple, and for the sake of this video, I'm not going to use any actual names. This creator had over 1 million followers across a couple different platforms. Look, more than 1 million followers follow this person. By every single metric the internet tells you, they have already won. You see, they went viral. They built an audience. They have as much reach as most creators would trade years of their life trying to get. And this creator had launched product after product, and they all failed. Every single one. Now, when I came in, I looked at the business, and the problem just wasn't her audience size. The problem was that the creator's entire audience came for the lifestyle. They came for the entertainment. They came for the top of funnel content that gets the most likes and the most shares. Well, the issue is that those people who watch their content all day, they just won't buy from this creator because they didn't follow them to solve a problem. They followed them to be entertained. So here's a creator with over 1 million followers who, in terms of real sales, was at almost zero. 1 million followers, 0 sales. Let that sink in because it breaks the entire myth. And here's the part that matters the most for you. The fix was not more followers. You see, the creator already had 1 million. The fix was the kind of content that they made and the kind of person that it called them. You see, the moment they actually started posting content that actually moved the business forward, content that speaks to the buyer, not the scroller, the likes go down, the comments go down, and the sales go up. Now, listen to that again. The content that moves your business is almost never the content that gets the most attention. So let's absolutely kill the follow-up session with some simple math. There's an old idea called the 1,000 true fans. And the premise is this: you do not need millions of people. You need 1,000 real ones. You see, watch what happens with the numbers. 1,000 people paying you $1,000. Well, that's $1 million. 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. You see, you don't need 100,000 followers. You don't need to go viral. You need 1,000 of the right people who trust you enough to buy. This is a completely different game than the ones that most creators are playing. You see, the creator is chasing views and they're trying to get hundreds of thousands of strangers to glance at them. Where the operator, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get 1,000 of the right people into a system that turns trust into money. And one of those is simply a popularity contest, where the other is a real business. And when you see it that way, the whole strategy flips on its head. You stop asking, how do I get more views? And you start asking, how do I attract the right person? And how do I get them into my world so that way they can become a buyer? Affiliates, low ticket front end that pays you every month, a high ticket offer on the back end. You see, that's the real machine. Followers is not the machine. So here's what you actually should do. First, you write your offer for the person who can pay, not the person who feels like you. Stop talking to the broke beginner. Start talking to the person who already has some success and already has some money and has a specific problem that you can actually solve. You see, your words decide who shows up, so choose them on purpose. Second, post the best content to attract the best client, not the best content to attract the most views. Now, sometimes in reality, that does mean fewer likes, and it almost always means better buyers. You see, a smaller number of the right people beats a giant number of the wrong people every single time. Third, you're going to build the on-ramp. The right person should be able to find you, get a small win, spend a little money, trust you, and then ascend. You see, that's how a follower becomes a buyer. Without that path, the perfect audience would just sit there. So one quick thing before I keep going. I actually put together a one-page checklist called the Right Buyer Positioning Checklist. What it does is it walks you through exactly how to word your offer so you stop attracting people who can't pay you. It's free. It's linked down in the description below. Go ahead and grab it and run your own offer through it. Because look, my friend, here's the truth. If you've been grinding for more followers and wondering why the money isn't following, it's not a reach problem. It is a positioning problem. And positioning is something you can fix this week. So look, if you take one thing away from this, take this. Going viral is not the goal. 1 million of the wrong people is worth less than 1,000 of the right ones. You see, you don't need a bigger audience. You need the right audience. And you need a system that turns them into buyers. And that's exactly the next thing you should watch. I actually went ahead and picked out the video that you should watch, which is how to build a business to 50 grand months starting with a small audience. No viral moment required. It's all right here. That is linked in the description. Go watch it next, and I will see you